Today was the first day of my city's biggest regional, Southern Crossup. But before I talk about that, I have takes about the balance patch. Oh, and then before that, I want to mention that I thought of something that could be good with teemo. You know how Time Winder is really good at stopping your opponent's assist because it just kind of like hangs out there, and so if your opponent calls an assist, they just get hit by the Time Winder? Teemo shrooms are probably really good for that as well. If you just have a mushroom behind your opponent, they can't really call assists because they'll just get hit by the mushroom, and being able to restrict your opponent's assist calls is really, really strong. Anyways, the balance patch. First off, it's a good balance patch. I'm really happy that it's so clear that the developers are listening to what is going on in the community, paying attention to how the meta is shaping up, and very, very rapidly putting the changes where they need to be. It's such a nice contrast because like before this, I used to play Smash, and Nintendo is incredibly out of it when it comes to understanding the meta competitively for their game. So it's nice to have a dev team actually know what's going on. But yeah, in terms of specific changes, I'm assuming you guys have read the patch notes, so I'll just talk about my opinions on them. All of the fuse nerfs are interestingly going to make Yasuo stronger, I think, because he is a lot less fuse reliant than a lot of the other characters. And it's also going to make characters like Teemo and Jinx stronger, I think, because they have the ability to stall out the clock really effectively to let their assist come up. Other characters kind of have to raw dog things without their assist, which is rough sometimes, but Teemo and Jinx can just continue setting stuff up and stall out the opponent until their assists come back, and that's pretty strong. The firework nerf is going to be pretty rough for my Jinx Ekko team. It's going to be really, really hard to get cheap TODs now without that huge source of damage that the fireworks were. But honestly, that's kind of fine because when you have that much meter, you're hardly ever going to be hitting a character that's on full health anyway. Like, if you have that much meter, it's because the match has been going on for a while, and if you're against a good opponent, they should have their characters like both relatively like even low health instead of one super low health character or one super high health character. Or I guess if they're both on super high health, you're just kind of cooked. Sorry. And then also Yasuo got some nerfs. He's probably going to get some more nerfs later, and I think that's good. But overall, I'm of the opinion that Yasuo kind of deserves to be the best character in the game. Like, best character on the game on his own, but with the worst support value in the game is a totally valid like position in the game for him to be in. And I also don't think they're going to nerf Ekko that much. We didn't see any Ekko changes here, and I don't think there are going to be that many changes in the proper patch. Because yeah, Ekko is really, really strong, but also he feels like the kind of character that Riot wants to be strong, you know? Like, he's a flashy, interesting character that looks cool, feels cool to play, and is pretty fun to play against. So that feels like the kind of character that they want to keep at a high power level. Versus someone like Blitzcrank, who I don't think they want to be that strong. But yes, okay, let's talk about Southern Crossup. It's really nice so far. It's just really good to see everyone again. It's been so long since I've seen a bunch of these people, and so it's nice to be able to physically interact with them again. There were big hugs all around. It was great. The venue is a little annoying for me because it's like 2 hours away from where I live by public transport, but apparently it's a really convenient location for people coming out of the city, like traveling in. So that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make if it's easier for everyone else. And the venue itself is nice, but I will say it is kind of frustrating that there's like 2 separate areas for the games. Like, there's a downstairs area where there's some games there, and then there's an upstairs area where there's some games there, and you have to take an elevator up, so it's not like I can spectate the downstairs games from upstairs or anything. It just feels very separate, and especially for 2xKO, we're like in a whole specific room dedicated to just us. It's just 2xKO setups in an isolated little booth, and I'm just going to be there for the whole weekend, and so I'm not really going to get to participate in like most of the other stuff. I mean, entirely voluntarily. Like, I could just leave the room, but I want to stay in the room. And it would be cool in a perfect ideal world if I could stay in that room playing 2xKO and then just kind of like lean over a balcony or something and see all the stuff going on there. Like, there was a Smash tournament a while ago in a different city that had it really good, where it was like the main stage area, and then there was like a balcony above the stage area where there were casual setups, and so you could play casual setups and then like look at the main stage and see what's going on there. That was really nice. But like, it's a pretty minor complaint. It's a nice venue, it's clean, there's a bunch of setups, and it's just good to see everyone again. In terms of gameplay adjustments, the main thing that I was working on is getting this slightly more optimized bread and butter. It's technically not the most optimal bread and butter that Ekko can do, but it's the most optimal bread and butter that Ekko can do like off Chrono Strike assist, so it's really valuable for me to learn. And then also, I was trying to get the burrito Oki again. It's so hard, and it might get removed. I don't think it's going to, because it has like very clear counterplay, but it scares me that it might. And so I'm mainly going to be focusing on just the optimized bread and butter and then just playing games with a bunch of different people. It's been good. There were a bunch of people walking into the setups just kind of curious about the game, like, oh shit, it's the new Riot fighting game, and that's really nice. It's just a fun energy having a new game and having people interested in it. I hope over the course of the tournament I get to play more doubles, because doubles in person is so much fun. I played it a little bit at the last local that I was at, and it was fantastic. And I'm also looking forward to seeing how far my friends get in their respective brackets. I mean, I know my brother is gonna win his bracket. He's the best Smash player in New Zealand, so I have full confidence in that. But the rest of them, you know, it's a bit more up in the air. I don't mean to talk shit on my friends. They're very talented fighting game players. It's just they're not as dominant as my brother is in his respective game. But yeah, I gotta get this video edited quick because I gotta wake up pretty early to get to the venue on time tomorrow. Goodbye. I'll see you guys later.